Last year, we heard headline after headline about President Biden's student loan forgiveness plan paired with pause after pause. So, why did this news fly under the radar?
Well, there's been a lot of separate student loan forgiveness initiatives and relief programs announced by the Biden administration over the last couple of years. The big one, of course, is the one-time cancellation initiative, which would have canceled $10,000 or $20,000 in student loan debt for millions of borrowers. That has been in the news because it's the biggest of the initiatives and also has been making its way through the courts. And the Supreme Court is actually set to rule on the legality of that program later this year. But there's been a host of other temporary initiatives as well that haven't gotten as much attention, such as the limited PSLF waiver, which expired last October, and this IDR account adjustment, which was first announced last April. So actually, the IDR account adjustment has been sort of around now for several months, but it's only getting ramped up now. And this tweak to the guidance that we're talking about today really did not come with much fanfare. It was sort of quietly updated on the Department of Ed's website for the program in December, and so we're just kind of finding out about it in the last couple of weeks.
And when does it go into effect?
Well, technically, it's in effect now. According to the Department of Education, they're starting the process of counting this retroactive credit towards borrowers' IDR terms, which again could also benefit folks on track for public service loan forgiveness. According to the Department of Education, folks who cross the threshold for loan forgiveness as a result of the adjustment will start to see their loans being discharged in the coming months. Everyone else will see a payment count for IDR progress automatically updated by July of this year. The Department of Ed also says that while the changes will be applied automatically to folks who have direct federal student loans, borrowers who have commercially held FFELP loans and other types of non-direct loans will want to consolidate those loans into a direct consolidation loan by May 1st of this year in order to benefit from the initiative by the July implementation.
And how many borrowers are going to be impacted by this change?
It's hard to say. The Department of Ed says tens of thousands of borrowers will get their loans forgiven through PSLF as a result of the IDR account adjustment. It's unclear exactly how many will get their loans forgiven purely through the IDR account adjustment, but the Department of Ed does estimate that 3.6 million borrowers will receive at least 3 years of additional credit towards loan forgiveness under an IDR plan, essentially advancing their progress, reducing the remaining time left in repayment, and saving them money in the process.
Let's say you were a borrower, you were on an IDR plan, you paid off your loan, but now with these new rules, your loan would be forgiven. Does anything happen to you retroactively?
Probably not for most people. The one exception is that borrowers who have made voluntary payments during the COVID pause, which has, as you mentioned, been extended several times and has been in effect since March 2020, loans that are covered by the COVID pause, no one has had to pay those, but some people have made payments anyway. Borrowers who have made those payments can contact their loan servicer to request a refund of any voluntary payments made during the COVID pause, according to the Department of Education. But unfortunately, for anyone else who's paid off their loans before that, not much can be done.
And you mentioned this earlier, but President Biden's student loan forgiveness program has been blocked by federal courts. Does this update face any legal hurdles?
As of right now, I'm not aware of any legal challenges specifically to the IDR account adjustment initiative. The lawsuits that we've been hearing about and talking about, and that has made its way up to the Supreme Court, is specifically about the one-time cancellation program, which is limited to the $10,000 or $20,000 in one-time student loan forgiveness.
And Republicans have now taken control of Congress. Is this update in any jeopardy?
Well, it's an executive action. The future leaders of the requisite committees on the Republican side of the aisle in the House have stated that they're going to be exploring these programs, possibly through hearings and investigations. It's unclear where that might lead. We'll just have to see what happens with that.
We will see. Adam Minsky, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Of course.